Hey everyone, this is going to be my last video for a little while. It's been a wild ride. The amount of time and energy that I've dedicated to making YouTube videos is hard to communicate. And my wife and I, we both have real concerns.
On May 17th, Outdoorboys' decade-long journey was forced to an end. Despite being at the peak of his popularity and having gained 12 million new subscribers in just 18 months, things regarding privacy had escalated so far that Luke saw no other way to continue without losing his wife and kids. And it was all just due to one uncalculated problem that he was unaware of. You know, Luke was a person that was usually always prepared for every negative outcome. Growing up in Alaska as a kid and spending most of his childhood exploring nature's most cruel places with his father and grandfather had taught him a bunch of lessons. He learned how to fish even when out of gear, how to make a fire, preserve food and cook it properly, what rules to follow and how to navigate when being absolutely lost, and how to build a shelter and survive in nature's deadliest settings in the coldest months of the year. Extremely difficult challenges and pressure were things he grew up with. And while most other parents would have called it irresponsible and dangerous, Luke's parents saw it as the best way to teach him a bunch of skills in his early age that would set him up for life and give him the needed confidence to achieve every goal he ever wished for. That's what made him so different from all the other kids. While they were being taught lessons through theory in the safety of their homes, he was learning everything he needed out there in nature's playground through consistent try and error. There were no shortcuts in life, and Luke learned that very early on. The only thing that kept you alive out there in the wild was your unbroken resilience and your will to survive. If you were not giving it all you got, you were not coming home. And that's what always stuck with him, even through his missionary work in Japan. Being in a country which language he couldn't speak and culture he knew nothing about were unfamiliar challenges. But if there was one thing his childhood taught him, it was how to adapt to every situation and push through no matter what. But life had far greater challenges prepared for Luke when he fell in love with a girl during his time at university.
And I've never seen her before, and I thought she was really cute. So I was kind of like making eyes with her and kind of giving her a old smiley smile, you know, and putting on the Nichols charm. She'd smile back and I'd smile at her and she'd smile back. But it was too late. Damage was done. I had to ask her out and I did. You know, the rest is history.
Right after finishing college, he would start his own political consulting firm, and things were looking good. But living life as a fresh entrepreneur came at a price.
But the hours and the environment was so bad for family life that I just decided I had to do something else. So we packed up and we moved to Virginia, and I went to George Mason Law School and decided to become a lawyer. After I graduated, I started my own law practice doing criminal defense work, and for about 10 years I was a criminal defense attorney. By the time I'd been practicing law for a few years, we were really concerned we weren't going to be able to have kids. We've been trying for a while and just kind of never worked out. But we bought a house and moved out a little bit into the countryside, and almost immediately Becca got pregnant with our oldest son, Tommy. And then came Nathan and then Jacob, and we've now got 3 wonderful little boys.
For a while, life was calm and stable for the little family of 3. But with time, Luke would often find himself feeling restless and unfulfilled. There was just something missing in his life. And that's what sparked the light in him to try content creation. He simply grabbed the camera and started the Catfish and Carp channel. There was no fancy gear, just a guy sharing fishing secrets his father and grandfather taught him as a kid in muddy rivers. Teaching his sons the do's and don'ts of fishing while simultaneously teaching the internet won the people's hearts and grew his channel to 1 million subscribers. But there was something missing. A burning desire from his childhood that had almost gone missing. His survival adventures. So he decided to launch another channel in 2015 just for survival. And this channel was Outdoorboys. The first 2 years were an absolute struggle. Almost nobody would tune in, but Luke didn't give up and went on numerous adventures, always taking his sons Tommy, Nate and Jacob with him. and passing the old tradition down that he had experienced as a kid in Alaska. Luke took them everywhere, from mountain expeditions and forest campouts to river trips, always putting their well-being and learnings over the entertainment. The clicks never mattered to Luke. He just wanted to be a good dad and create lasting memories with his sons while teaching them how to fish, camp, and survive outdoors. Together, they mastered one adventure after the other, until Luke decided in 2017 that they were ready to visit Alaska for their next adventure. And that was the big breakthrough. The 4-part Alaska series that highlighted outdoor survival moments, fishing trips, camping experiences, and spontaneous funny family moments went absolutely viral. With 3 out of the 4 videos reaching 1 million views and the comments being flooded with people pointing out the positive dynamic within the family. People from all age groups would tune in to watch Luke and his sons exploring one adventure after the other, and that's what made it so special. It wasn't just outdoor survival, but a father and his wife teaching their young sons valuable life lessons through outdoor adventures and growing together as a family through unforgettable memories. But with time, things would take a strong pivot, when Luke started doing increasingly challenging survival scenarios, with one of the most demanding challenges being a 3-day test of solitary survival in freezing winter conditions.
I'll tell you what, guys, I'm starting to have some real doubts about this camp out. The temperature's just dropping and it could get down to -30 tonight. It's a lot colder than I was anticipating, and I'm just not prepared for that.
High-stake, life-threatening missions like these had the viewers on the edge of their seats, and that contributed to the rapid growth in popularity. But this progression highlighted one of the ongoing challenges that Luke was facing, which was escalating the difficulty of adventures to maintain viewer interest while having obligations to be a family man. But he knew that, and always prepared himself for every possible outcome. There was just one thing that he had missed out of sight, which was fans moving their conversation as a community to TikTok by posting highlight clips, since they were unable to comment on any of the videos on YouTube after the permanent restriction in 2019. And that's when everything changed. Just in 18 months, Outdoorboys would gain 12 million followers, and with that came a bunch of unexpected challenges with privacy that significantly impacted his family's daily life.
The sheer volume of fans trying to contact me, trying to take pictures with me, or just trying to come up and talk to me in public can be a bit overwhelming at times. And my wife and I, we both have real concerns about what this will do to our family if I keep growing my YouTube channel at this pace.
His attempt to film family content while at the same time trying to protect his wife and kids from any negative encounters was completely falling apart. Although most of these public encounters turned out to be extremely wholesome and friendly, it felt as if they had lost the only element that still made them feel like normal human beings, which was privacy. In the end, Luke was just a normal person that wanted to enjoy life's moments with his family just like everybody else, and share some wisdom and adventures for other families out there. His family meant everything to him, and that's what finally led him to make a tough decision at the absolute peak of his popularity.
And the time to stop is before this problem gets so out of hand that my family and I can't live normal lives. Now, there's more than one reason for making this decision, and I still enjoy making videos and I still enjoy going on ventures, but it's time to start focusing on other things. And that's what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be my last video for a while.
His final goodbye stirred up a lot of sad reactions, with comments reading, "This guy legit saves thousands of lives every day. He pops up randomly at 3 AM in your darkest time and gets you out of your head. Luke Nichols is the Bob Ross of the YouTube generation. Kind, gentle, passionate, genuine, supremely talented and capable, and someone who always makes your day brighter and better. I love that anytime his boys aren't having fun, he packs up and goes home or changes what they are doing. It's always his family first, and that's what he will always be remembered for. A man that tried to make the world smile and share wisdom without ever asking for any favors in return."